Right in front of me here is a set of tools specifically for kids put together by Highland Woodworking. Now I'm really excited about this because it's a set of tools put together by Highland Woodworking that are made specifically for kids, so they're going to fit smaller hands. But they're still real tools, so kids will get in and start learning how to work with real tools. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the pieces that Highland Woodworking includes as part of this kit. We start the set, of course, with a hammer and a pack of nails. No woodworker is going to be complete without having a hammer around the shop. There's a rasp here for shaping curved parts or roughing out some wood. And then there's a hand drill here, which is a great way for kids for making holes. Hand drill and drill bit. It's definitely a lot easier for kids to get started using something like this rather than that big heavy corded drill. A tape measure for measuring parts and a combination square for checking for square and of course measuring and marking. A pair of kids' safety glasses, which is just really important to start that safety right from the start, getting kids attuned to being safe while they're doing woodworking or working with tools. Two different books for projects for working with kids, woodworking projects that are great for kids and steps through how to build those projects. Rubber bands that can be used for clamps and an assortment of sandpaper for getting ready for finishing projects. Of course, a bottle of glue. And the coping saw, which is another great safe method for kids to get started with sawing, is using a blade from a coping saw, and of course you can cut curves and straight lines with the coping saw as well. And then finally a vise, which is great for not only just work holding, but also teaching a very safe method for holding wood while you're trying to work it. The two included books are a great place to get started on what kind of projects can we do with kids, and also is a good refresher on the tools and techniques for those people that aren't using these tools every day. It talks about the tools and the techniques for making the projects. This one here, Easy Carpentry Projects for Children, starts off with a list of tools and then quickly jumps into the projects. Here's a sailboat. And it talks about the materials needed, the tools needed here at the start, and then just walks through paragraph form with some pictures about building that project. The all-new Woodworking for Kids, very similar, a bit more of a preface with talking about woodworking basics, talking about the wood, then jumps into the tools and their use, shop safety, obviously extremely important. Then it goes through techniques, and then some joints and finishing process. So kind of goes through an overview of everything, and then jumps into projects. First one here, making a miter box, a very useful tool for making more projects. And then the second one here, making a toolbox for holding all your tools. A great first or second project for kids getting started working with tools. Now I love anything that is getting woodworking into younger kids or into the next generation. Anything with like using tools, building a project, using your hands is just great experience and knowledge for kids as they're growing up. The sense of accomplishment for putting together a project yourself, building something from start to finish with your hands, putting it together and seeing that final project is just awesome. And this kit by Highland Woodworking is a great way to get started. They've put together a set of tools that is a complete set of tools you need for going ahead and working on projects, but they're going to fit kids' smaller hands. So instead of trying to borrow that big hammer in your shop, you got a hammer that's going to fit their hands. Instead of maybe working with that big power drill or that big corded drill that's really too heavy and awkward and dangerous, we've got a nice hand drill here that kids can use, fit for their hands, get the drill bits, and go ahead and use a little bit safer alternative that's going to work for them. So I love this kit. Getting woodworking, tools, project making into kids, getting that experience for them is just an awesome thing to do. Now this is a nice set of tools put together by Highland Woodworking, but like with any set, if you already have a couple of the tools, buying a whole set might not be worth it. But you can check out online and see what's included and maybe pick and choose a couple of different pieces to augment what you already have. But if you don't have tools for a kid or a budding woodworker, this is a great set to get started. So let's go ahead and put some of these tools to use.